The Spaghetti Spectacular. In the charming town of Spaghettiville, Noodlehead Nick was always at the forefront of culinary innovation. After the rigatoni rocket's unexpected pasta explosion, Nick was determined to create an invention that would entertain and delight the townspeople without any chance of catastrophe. This time, he aimed to put on a show, a spaghetti spectacular. Nick envisioned a grand, outdoor spaghetti-making machine that would not only prepare delicious spaghetti, but also entertain the crowd with a synchronized pasta dance. The machine would feature various parts that moved in harmony, creating a mesmerizing performance as it mixed dough, extruded noodles, and cooked them to perfection. For weeks, Nick meticulously designed and built the Spaghetti Spectacular. He installed gears, levers, and pistons, all precisely calibrated to create a seamless performance. The machine was adorned with colorful lights and musical instruments, ensuring that the show would be a feast for both the eyes and ears. On the day of the grand performance, the town square was buzzing with excitement. The Spaghetti Spectacular stood tall in the center, its intricate machinery gleaming in the sunlight. Nick, dressed in a showman's outfit complete with a top hat and a bow tie, stood proudly beside his creation, ready to dazzle the audience. Mayor Macaroni, now a seasoned participant in Nick's adventures, took the stage. Citizens of Spaghettiville, today we gather for an event unlike any other. Let us enjoy the Spaghetti Spectacular and hope it brings us joy and perfectly cooked pasta. With a dramatic flourish, Nick pulled a lever, and the Spaghetti Spectacular sprang to life. The machine began to move in a synchronized dance, gears turning and pistons pumping in time with the music. Flour and water mixed together, forming a smooth dough that was then extruded into long, thin strands of spaghetti. The crowd watched in awe as the noodles were cooked in a series of bubbling pots, each one timed perfectly to the rhythm of the music. Steam rose, creating a magical atmosphere, and the lights on the machine twinkled in a dazzling display. The spaghetti was then tossed in giant woks with a rich, savory sauce, ready to be served. Everything seemed to be going perfectly. The townspeople cheered and clapped along with the performance, delighted by the seamless combination of music, lights, and pasta. But as the show continued, the machinery began to heat up from the constant motion and cooking. Nick, noticing the temperature gauge rising, tried to adjust the settings, but it was too late. With a loud clang, one of the main pistons jammed, causing the entire machine to lurch and sputter. The synchronized dance turned into a chaotic jig as gears misaligned and parts began to malfunction. Spaghetti noodles flew in every direction, and pots of sauce tipped over, creating a slippery mess. The crowd gasped and then burst into laughter as they were showered with noodles and sauce. The once majestic Spaghetti Spectacular was now a whirlwind of pasta pandemonium. Mayor Macaroni, ducking to avoid a flying noodle, approached Nick with an amused smile. "Nick, it seems your Spaghetti Spectacular has turned into a Spaghetti Splat-tacular." Nick, covered in spaghetti and sauce, managed a sheepish grin. "I guess I didn't account for the machine overheating. But look, on the bright side, we've got plenty of pasta for everyone." Despite the chaos, the townsfolk couldn't help but laugh. They spent the rest of the day cleaning up and turning the town square into a giant spaghetti party. Children played in the noodle piles, and adults enjoyed bowls of freshly made pasta while sharing stories of Nick's latest adventure. From that day on, Spaghettiville embraced Nick's inventive spirit, knowing that his creations, while sometimes unpredictable, always brought excitement and a sense of community. And Nick, ever the dreamer, continued to tinker and experiment, always seeking new ways to infuse his beloved town with wonder, laughter, and of course, delicious pasta. The lasagna launcher. Noodlehead Nick had always been known for his ambitious culinary inventions, each one promising to revolutionize life in Spaghettiville. After the escapades of the Spaghetti Spectacular, Nick was determined to create an invention that would not only be practical, but also awe-inspiring. Thus, he set his sights on a new challenge, the lasagna launcher. Nick envisioned the lasagna launcher as a device that would deliver piping hot lasagna directly to the homes of Spaghettiville's residents. The contraption would load pre-cooked lasagna into specialized pods, launch them into the air, and gently parachute them down to awaiting households. It was a combination of convenience, entertainment, and of course, delicious Italian cuisine. For weeks, Nick toiled in his workshop, fine-tuning the mechanics of the lasagna launcher. He designed the pods to withstand the launch and landing, ensuring that the lasagna remained intact and hot. The townsfolk watched with both curiosity and skepticism, wondering if this latest invention would lead to another spectacular mess. On the day of the grand unveiling, the town square was abuzz with excitement. The lasagna launcher stood proudly, its sleek design and colorful pods a testament to Nick's creativity. Nick, dressed in his chef's apron and a pilot's cap, stood beside the launcher with a confident grin, ready to demonstrate its capabilities. Mayor Macaroni, with a hint of amusement in his voice, addressed the gathered crowd. Citizens of Spaghettiville, today we witness another daring invention from our beloved noodlehead Nick. Let's hope the lasagna launcher brings us both convenience and a touch of wonder. Nick, with a theatrical flourish, loaded the first pod of lasagna into the launcher. He adjusted the settings, aimed the launcher skyward, and pressed the launch button. With a whoosh and a puff of smoke, the pod soared into the air, leaving a trail of pasta-scented vapor. The townspeople watched in awe as the pod reached its apex and then gently deployed its parachute. The lasagna descended gracefully, landing with a soft thud in the backyard of old Mrs. Ravioli. Cheers erupted from the crowd as Mrs. Ravioli emerged from her house, delighted to find a steaming hot lasagna waiting for her. Encouraged by the successful launch, Nick proceeded to send more pods of lasagna into the sky. Each one found its target, delivering delicious meals to the eager residents of Spaghettiville. The crowd marveled at the spectacle, enjoying both the convenience and the entertainment of the lasagna launcher. But as Nick launched the final pod of lasagna, disaster struck. A strong gust of wind caught the parachute, causing the pod to veer off course. The lasagna descended with unexpected speed, crashing through the roof of Mayor Macaroni's house and landing squarely in his bathtub. The townspeople gasped and then burst into laughter as Mayor Macaroni, now covered in sauce and bits of pasta, emerged from his house, holding a soggy lasagna. He approached Nick with a mix of amusement and exasperation. "Nick," he said, shaking his head, "it seems your lasagna launcher has turned into a lasagna lander." Nick, laughing along with the crowd, shrugged apologetically. "I guess I need to work on the wind resistance calculations. But look on the bright side, we've got plenty of lasagna for everyone." Despite the mishap, the townsfolk embraced the humor of the situation. They spent the rest of the day cleaning up and enjoying impromptu lasagna dinners in the town square, sharing stories and laughter over Nick's latest culinary misadventure. From that day on, Spaghettiville continued to embrace Nick's inventive spirit, knowing that his creations, while sometimes unpredictable, always brought joy and a sense of community. And Nick, undeterred by setbacks, continued to dream up new ways to delight and entertain his beloved town with his unique blend of creativity and pasta. The ravioli roller coaster. Noodlehead Nick was always full of surprises, and his latest invention promised to be the talk of Spaghettiville, the ravioli roller coaster. Inspired by the town's love for both pasta and amusement, Nick set out to create a thrilling ride that would also serve up freshly cooked ravioli to its passengers. The ravioli roller coaster was designed as a high-speed track that looped and twisted through the hills surrounding Spaghettiville. Along the way, riders would encounter stations where they could customize their ravioli fillings before continuing on the exhilarating journey. The final stretch of the ride would pass through a special cooking chamber, where the ravioli would be steamed to perfection and then delivered to the riders as they completed the ride. For weeks, Nick worked tirelessly to perfect the ravioli roller coaster. He tested different track designs, fine-tuned the cooking chamber's temperature controls, and experimented with various ravioli fillings to ensure a delectable dining experience. The townspeople watched with eager anticipation, wondering if Nick's latest invention would deliver thrills and flavor in equal measure. On the day of the grand opening, excitement buzzed through Spaghettiville. The ravioli roller coaster stood tall against the backdrop of the rolling hills, its sleek tracks and colorful cars a testament to Nick's ingenuity. Nick, dressed in a chef's coat adorned with roller coaster-themed patches, stood proudly at the entrance, ready to welcome the first riders. Mayor Macaroni, always a supporter of Nick's inventive spirit, addressed the gathered crowd. "Citizens of Spaghettiville, today we embark on a thrilling journey unlike any other. Let's hope the ravioli roller coaster brings us both excitement and a taste of delicious ravioli. With a wave of his hand, Nick signaled for the first group of riders to board the roller coaster. The car zoomed off with a rush of speed, climbing hills and spiraling through loops. As the riders reached the first filling station, they eagerly selected their ravioli ingredients: spinach and ricotta, mushroom and truffle, or classic meat and cheese. The roller coaster continued its exhilarating course, weaving through tunnels and soaring over dips. As the riders approached the cooking chamber, they could smell the tantalizing aroma of freshly steamed ravioli. With a final burst of speed, the roller coaster glided into the station, where a team of servers awaited with plates of hot, steaming ravioli. Everything seemed to be going perfectly. The riders cheered and laughed, thrilled by the combination of adrenaline and gourmet dining. But as the roller coaster reached its peak popularity, the ravioli roller coaster encountered an unexpected challenge: demand outpaced supply. The cooking chamber, designed to handle a certain number of ravioli per ride, struggled to keep up with the influx of orders. Plates of ravioli piled up, causing delays and frustration among the hungry riders. Some ravioli were overcooked, while others were underfilled, leading to mixed reviews from the passengers. Nick, realizing the issue, rushed to adjust the settings and increase the roller coaster's capacity. With each adjustment, the roller coaster resumed its smooth operation, delivering hot and delicious ravioli to the eager riders. Mayor Macaroni, sampling a plate of spinach and ricotta ravioli, approached Nick with a satisfied smile. "Nick," he said between bites, "it seems your ravioli roller coaster has turned into a culinary adventure. Despite the bumps along the way, you've managed to combine thrills with flavor." Nick, wiping sweat from his brow, grinned proudly. "I learned that balancing excitement and culinary perfection is quite a ride. But look on the bright side, we've created a unique experience that Spaghettiville will never forget." Despite the initial challenges, the riders and townspeople embraced the ravioli roller coaster with enthusiasm. They spent the rest of the day enjoying the thrilling ride and savoring plates of freshly made ravioli, sharing stories and laughter over Nick's latest culinary escapade. From that day on, Spaghettiville continued to embrace Nick's inventive spirit, knowing that his creations, while sometimes unpredictable, always brought joy and a sense of community. And Nick, undeterred by challenges, continued to dream up new ways to combine his love for pasta with his passion for excitement and innovation. The Linguini Locomotive. Noodlehead Nick's creativity knew no bounds, and his latest invention aimed to merge Spaghettiville's love for pasta with its need for efficient transportation: the Linguini Locomotive. This ambitious project combined a traditional locomotive design with a unique twisted cooked and served linguine pasta as it traveled along its tracks. The Linguini Locomotive was a marvel of engineering. Nick designed it with a spacious dining car where passengers could enjoy gourmet linguine dishes prepared on board. The locomotive's steam engine was modified to heat water for cooking pasta, while the coal car was replaced with a pantry stocked with fresh ingredients and sauces. For weeks, Nick and his team worked tirelessly to perfect the Linguini Locomotive. They tested different pasta cooking methods, optimized the dining car layout for maximum comfort, and ensured the locomotive could navigate Spaghettiville's winding tracks with ease. The townspeople eagerly awaited the grand unveiling, curious to see how Nick would combine transportation and pasta in such a unique way. On the day of the inaugural journey, excitement filled the air in Spaghettiville. The Linguini Locomotive gleamed in the sunlight, its polished exterior and colorful decorations catching the eye of everyone in town. Nick, dressed in a conductor's uniform adorned with pasta-themed badges, stood proudly beside the locomotive, ready to welcome the first passengers. Mayor Macaroni, always a supporter of Nick's inventive endeavors, addressed the gathered crowd. "Citizens of Spaghettiville, today marks a historic moment for our town. Let us embark on a journey of flavor and innovation aboard the Linguini Locomotive." With a wave of his hand, Nick signaled for passengers to board the luxurious dining car of the Linguini Locomotive. As the locomotive chugged to life, steam billowing from its stack, the passengers settled into their seats and perused the menu: creamy Alfredo linguine, tangy marinara linguine, and savory pesto linguine. As the Linguini Locomotive departed from the station, it began its culinary journey. The onboard chefs worked tirelessly in the kitchen, preparing fresh batches of linguine pasta with a variety of sauces. The aroma of garlic and herbs filled the air as the locomotive wound its way through lush green hills and quaint villages. Passengers marveled at the seamless combination of transportation and gourmet dining. They enjoyed their linguine dishes served on elegant porcelain plates, paired with freshly baked bread and local wines. The rhythmic click-clack of the tracks added to the ambience, creating a dining experience unlike any other. But as the linguine locomotive approached a particularly steep incline, it encountered an unexpected challenge. The pressure in the steam boiler fluctuated, causing the pasta cooking times to vary. Some linguine dishes were slightly overcooked, while others were underdone, leading to mixed reviews from the passengers. Nick, ever the problem solver, rushed to the locomotive's engine room to adjust the steam pressure and ensure consistent cooking temperatures. With each adjustment, the linguine locomotive resumed its smooth operation, delivering perfectly cooked linguine dishes to the delighted passengers. Mayor Macaroni, sampling a forkful of Alfredo linguine, approached Nick with a satisfied smile. "Nick," he said, nodding approvingly, "it seems your linguine locomotive has taken us on a delicious journey through Spaghettiville. Despite the challenges, you've managed to blend transportation with culinary excellence." Nick, wiping sweat from his brow, grinned proudly. "I learned that balancing innovation and tradition can be as challenging as cooking pasta to perfection. But look on the bright side, we've created a memorable experience that Spaghettiville will cherish." Despite the initial challenges, the passengers and townspeople embraced the linguine locomotive with enthusiasm. They spent the rest of the journey enjoying gourmet linguine dishes and admiring the scenic beauty of their beloved town, sharing stories and laughter over Nick's latest culinary adventure. From that day on, Spaghettiville continued to celebrate Nick's inventive spirit, knowing that his creations, while sometimes unpredictable, always brought joy and a sense of community. And Nick, fueled by his passion for both pasta and innovation, continued to dream up new ways to delight his fellow townspeople with his unique blend of creativity and culinary expertise. The Penne Parade. Noodlehead Nick had a knack for turning everyday activities into extraordinary events, and his latest endeavor aimed to celebrate Spaghettiville's annual festival in a truly spectacular fashion, the Penne Parade. This whimsical parade would feature elaborate floats, costumes adorned with pasta-themed decorations, and of course, plenty of penne pasta for everyone to enjoy. The idea for the Penne Parade stemmed from Nick's desire to bring the community together in a joyful celebration of their love for pasta. He envisioned colorful floats, shaped like giant pasta bowls, marching bands playing lively tunes, and participants dressed as spaghetti strands, meatballs, and various pasta shapes. For weeks, Nick and the townspeople worked tirelessly to prepare for the Penne Parade. They crafted intricate floats, adorned with pasta sculptures, and decorated costumes with shimmering sequins and pasta-shaped accessories. The excitement in Spaghettiville grew as the festival day approached, with everyone eagerly anticipating the grand spectacle. On the day of the festival, the streets of Spaghettiville buzzed with energy and anticipation. The Penne Parade floats lined up along the main avenue, each one a testament to Nick's creativity and the town's love for pasta. Nick, dressed in a vibrant pasta-themed outfit, stood proudly at the head of the parade, ready to lead the procession. Mayor Macaroni, waving to the cheering crowd, addressed the gathered townspeople. "Citizens of Spaghettiville, today we come together to celebrate our shared love for pasta and community spirit. Let the Penne Parade begin." With a blast of confetti and music from the marching bands, the Penne Parade set off down the avenue. Floats adorned with giant penne pasta tubes, rigatoni wheels, and fusilli spirals rolled past, accompanied by dancers twirling spaghetti ribbons and jugglers tossing meatball-shaped balls. The townspeople lined the streets, cheering and applauding as the parade passed by. Children reached out to grab handfuls of penne pasta tossed from the floats, while families enjoyed the festive atmosphere and delicious pasta-themed treats sold by vendors along the route. As the Penne Parade reached its climax, Nick led the procession to the town square, where a grand pasta feast awaited. Long tables were filled with trays of penne pasta dishes, creamy carbonara, spicy arrabbiata, and hearty bolognese cooked to perfection by local chefs and volunteers. The townspeople gathered around the tables, sharing laughter and stories as they enjoyed their favorite pasta dishes. Nick, beaming with pride, raised a toast to Spaghettiville and the joyous success of the penne parade. Mayor Macaroni, savoring a forkful of arrabbiata penne, approached Nick with a grateful smile. "Nick," he said warmly, "the penne parade has brought our community closer together than ever before. Your creativity and passion for pasta have truly made this festival unforgettable." Nick, humbled by the praise, nodded enthusiastically. "I've learned that pasta isn't just food, it's a symbol of unity and celebration. I'm thrilled that the penne parade has brought so much joy to Spaghettiville." As the sun set on Spaghettiville, the townspeople lingered in the town square, savoring the last bites of their pasta dishes and reminiscing about the day's festivities. The penne parade had not only celebrated their love for pasta, but had also strengthened their bonds as a community, leaving a lasting impression on everyone who had participated. From that day on, Spaghettiville continued to embrace Nick's inventive spirit, knowing that his creations, while sometimes unconventional, always brought joy and a sense of togetherness. And Nick, fueled by his passion for pasta and community, continued to dream up new ways to bring happiness to his beloved town with his unique blend of creativity and culinary expertise.